In case you didn't already know, the NCAA is a complete joke. We've criticized them a number of times over the years, but what went down on Thursday might be the lowest and the absolute worst thing we've seen them do. If you've been following along with the story involving North Carolina wide receiver Tez Walker, you should be pretty up to date as to what's going on. But in case you didn't know, I'll give you a quick spark notes before we dive more into the story. Essentially, he wasn't eligible to play because of the stupid transfer rules, because this would have been his third program, even though technically it wasn't. Well, long story short, the NCAA officially announced today that Tez Walker will not be eligible for the 2023 season for North Carolina. And like I said, this is one of the worst things I think we've ever seen the NCAA do. North Carolina kicked off their season last week against South Carolina, but Tez Walker was ruled ineligible and he couldn't play in that game. Last month, the NCAA denied Walker's waiver to play immediately as a two-time transfer, and then North Carolina appealed the decision. That appeal was also denied, so now his case was heard by a committee of representatives from Division I schools. The committee will then make a decision and present it to the NCAA. Last week, Tez Walker took to Twitter and showed the letter that he was going to send directly to Baker. I'm not going to read this entire letter here, but I will share some points. I am Tez Walker. I am a North Carolina citizen, a UNC student, and a football player. It has been my dream to play in my home city of Charlotte in a North Carolina uniform. Your institution has turned down my earnest request to pursue my dream. My understanding, based on the response from your organization, is that my appeal has been turned down due to a technicality. Your team believes my enrollment at NCCU, where I never played football, should count as my original school. That is why they are denying my eligibility to play at North Carolina. This makes no sense. During my time at NCCU, they never played a football game. COVID made them cancel our season. I appeal to your logic as a man and as a leader. Please review my situation so I can achieve my dream as a student athlete. Isn't that what the NCAA is supposed to do? Help student athletes achieve their dream. North Carolina has argued that Walker deserves to play for multiple reasons. As he wrote in that letter, Walker did not play at NC Central during his freshman year because the pandemic forced the school to cancel their season. Looking for a new school to play at, Walker then transferred to Kent State, the only school that was offering him a scholarship at that time. But because Walker did not play at NC Central due to circumstances outside his control, North Carolina believes the transfer decision should not count against him. And pretty much everybody in the entire country can see that, except for the people making this decision. Another thing added, Walker says he began to deal with mental health challenges during his 2 years at Kent State. He grew up in Charlotte as the primary caregiver to his grandmother, whose health started to deteriorate again while he was away. Walker says he went to see the team doctor to discuss his mental health and ultimately decided to return closer to home. Walker says that since his arrival in North Carolina, he has received mental health counseling. When he transferred to the Tar Heels, old rules were still in place that made it easier for two-time transfers to get waivers in these certain circumstances. But 2 days after he began classes, the Division I Council voted to significantly tighten the criteria for waivers. Both Kent State and NC Central have submitted supporting documentation to the NCAA in favor of Walker being allowed to play this season. But it turns out all of that completely went to waste, and he isn't eligible to play at all in 2023. According to ESPN, his family had tickets to attend the game in Charlotte last week, and it would have been the very first time his grandmother would have gotten to see him play in a game. There are a lot of different statements that have come out since this news dropped about 15 minutes ago, and the first one I'm going to share is from head coach Mack because he went completely off on the NCAA, and I don't recall a head coach ever going this far into the NCAA before, so here's Mack quote. "We're absolutely crushed to learn that Tez Walker's eligibility has been denied for this season, and he won't be able to play. I don't know that I've ever been more disappointed in a person, a group of people, or an institution than I am with the NCAA right now. It's clear that the NCAA is about process, and it couldn't care less about the young people it's supposed to be supporting. Plain and simple, the NCAA has failed Tez and his family, and I've lost all faith in its ability to lead and govern our sport. They've messed up so many things as it relates to college football, and now their failures have negatively impacted the life of one of our own. Just imagine what it is like for Tez to be so excited to come home and have a chance to fulfill his childhood dream of playing for North Carolina in front of his family and friends, only to have it taken away despite doing nothing wrong. I can't begin to understand how this has happened. The decision makers at the NCAA and on the committee should be ashamed of themselves for doing this to a young man. As has been clearly documented, Tez should be eligible for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the mental health issues he's faced during his time in college. And with this decision, the NCAA has placed an unnecessary burden on him. He's had a rough go of it, and this will surely only make it worse. How dare they ever speak about mental health and student-athlete welfare again? We've got complete rosters overhauled through the transfer portal, players playing in their 8th year of college, players playing at their 4th school, and the list goes on. Yet, Tez Walker, who has only played football at one school, is ineligible. It makes no sense, and it never will. Moving forward, our Carolina family is strong, and we need to wrap our arms around Tez, lift him up, and make sure we continue to do all we can to support him. He's continued to work on the field and off, and remained an amazing member of our program throughout this ordeal. I know that will continue to happen because that's the kind of person he is. Despite this setback, Tez's future remains bright, and we'll continue to do everything we can to help him fulfill all of his dreams. Shame on you, NCAA. Shame on you. Yeah, I'm sure Mack Brown pretty much mic dropped this because what a statement. I love the fact that he called out the NCAA, and everything he said here was spot on. Because the NCAA is a joke. Like he mentioned, there are players that are spending their 8th season in college football this year. I mean, there are guys that are still playing that were playing before I even went to college, and I graduated before the COVID pandemic. Not to mention, guys are at their 3rd or their 4th different program. I mean, look at JT Daniels, for crying out loud. The dude has been in a new school every season over the last couple of years. So, how's he eligible? Before we get to the rest of this video, before I get to more statements, I do want to give a quick shout out to Underdog Fantasy for supporting me and my channel. Underdog is excited to give me this exclusive offer for my YouTube subscribers. Use promo code Harris to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100 if you sign up. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game. You can pick at least 2 players, and you can choose as many as 5. They also have an insane deal for tonight only. You can pick Patrick Mahomes to have 1 total yard. That's it. If he gets just 1 yard, you win. This is only good for tonight's opening game, so make sure to get in on this offer while you can. If you deposit $50, they'll add $50 to your account. If you deposit $100, they'll add $100 of free money. Consider this my personal gift to you for being awesome subscribers. So if you'd like to win money tonight and throughout the college football season, make sure to download the Underdog Fantasy app and use promo code Harris for a 100% deposit match up to $100. You can also sign up using the link in my description. There was also a statement that was released from North Carolina Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham. The NCAA had an opportunity to demonstrate that this is a new membership organization by using common sense, reason, and compassion to determine the eligibility of Tez Walker. On 8 different occasions, the organization had the opportunity to demonstrate it can make sound and reasonable decisions in the best interest of student athletes based on individual circumstances. Instead, the NCAA made a maddening, frustrating, and wrong decision for Tez, college football, and for college athletics. Seeking more than 50 student athletes transfer to one school or watching a starting quarterback play for his 4th university in his 6th year doesn't make any sense to many. Arbitrarily prohibiting a student athlete from competition when that student athlete has only played 2 seasons of football in the last 5 years at one school and wants to play closer to home for legitimate family and mental health reasons does not make sense. This decision undermines the fair treatment of student athletes and further erodes the public's confidence in our national governing body. Despite the NCAA's failure, we will continue to support Tez Walker and his family. Once again, another mic drop, this one coming from Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham. So yeah, this entire situation sucks, this entire situation is sad, and I think the worst part about all of it is the fact that myself, and I'm sure many people, pretty much saw this coming. We knew that a decision was going to be near, but I don't think many people had any faith or confidence in the NCAA to make the right decision with this. With everything going on in college football that a lot of people don't like, the NCAA had a chance for once to actually do something good and have a good light shine on them. Instead, this makes things even worse, and like I mentioned at the start of the video, this may be one of the lowest things we've ever seen them do. This is unfortunate, this sucks, I feel for Tez Walker, I feel for everyone involved, and again, this just goes to show that the NCAA as a whole is just awful. It's going to be interesting to see more of the fallout because I'm recording this only about 20 minutes after the news dropped. I'm not sure if there's going to be more statements. As of right now, I don't see a statement from Tez Walker, but I'm sure he'll come out with something in the coming hours. And I'm sure there's going to be other players, coaches from other universities that are probably going to come out and issue some sort of statement as well. So what are your thoughts on this entire Tez Walker situation? I mean, I think I know the answer. I think I know how this is going to go in the comment section below, but let me know your thoughts on the entire situation. Before you leave, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos every day during the season, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that YouTube algorithm and helps share the video with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.